Now, I'm going to invite you to have an open mind here, because if I say medication and your child, you might automatically say, I'm not going to do that with my child. I mean, medications can change them. I'm just going to ask you to have an open mind here. We now have enough history of children using, say, Ritalin, that we know that it helps for a certain period of time. And it helps them pay attention, it helps them focus. Going back to the client story that I shared earlier, he's a 7th-year senior in college and admits that for the first time in 7 years of all of his schooling, he's able to pay attention because he's on a medication. That's just one of the positive byproducts of the medication itself. But what also happens is their ability to pay attention to a conversation, less impulsivity, and what happens is they begin to see a shift, and others around them see a shift, and it influences their relationship and their interaction with others. So the benefit of medication is that it can help in the primary areas, and you can do research on this, which I invite you to do. Be a consumer of the research on the benefits of medication. Because most medications, they're not going to be addictive. You can take them during school, don't have to take them on weekends. There's just an option here that will help your children in the times where they need to focus. They don't recommend that children under age 6 take ADHD medication. So if you've got a child under 6, what we would suggest is some parental behavioral monitoring, or helping your child with behaviors. So pre-6, you want to do parental support, behavioral changes, and then you want to combine them afterwards. And so those are just a couple different things to be aware of. There is some age relevancy here that I also encourage you to think about. The next part of that, and this is a very important thing, if one medication isn't helping a lot, you might try another one. So for example, if they're really upping the dosage, it may be that there's another medication, because there's different types of ADHD medication that have different chemicals that help. So again, don't be disappointed if whatever we tried first didn't work. Continue trying and seeing what your child does best with. One final thought here. If you find yourself resistant to this solution, let me go through the other solutions as well. But if they don't collectively help, then seriously give consideration of medication. Now, my personal preference is let's do as much naturally as possible and then do the medication. But for some people, it's not optional. Your child really would benefit in schooling, at home, and everything you're doing on medication. So my first solution is to look at the research and the science. And if your child's dealing with ADHD, talk with a professional who can prescribe medication and see if it's right for your child.